Morning. Welcome back. I guess it may not be morning for y'all, but it's morning for me. So we're at the range today. We're gonna be showing some of the things we've been practicing. So, like I've said before in my previous videos, that the importance of practicing your drawing, your pull, your point, and then your fire, and trying to get your sights on target from straight from the draw. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Is we're going to be showing with just a little bit of practice, occasionally at the house or whatever it may be, have your gun unloaded and basically doing some dry fire point shoot skills. So we've been practicing that at the house, just while we're watching TV or whatever we're doing. Just be pulling our gun, aiming at like a light switch in your house or something you have on the wall or whatever it may be, and just trying to get to where every time you draw and you point your gun down where you're wanting to shoot at, that your sights are basically already aligned with your eyes and you'll be able to hit your target. So I got my target here. As you can see, it's that big, so it's probably 2.5, 3 inches maybe. So we're gonna be drawing and shooting at this target. So we'll see how she goes. All right. So we did our first 7 rounds or so. Just drawing, doing single taps. So now I think we're gonna try drawing and doing dose taps. So we'll do it over here in this corner here and see how close we can get them. Brass. Woo. Nothing much better than range day. Well, there we are. We did our double taps here. You can see on this one here, we were shooting, trying to pull, trying to draw, pull, aim, and shoot once and then twice, and trying to basically, as soon as we shoot and the dot comes up and we come back down, fire the second shot off. bugs. Now, when you're at your range doing this, right, at your house or whatever you're going to be practicing, but when you're at the range, and even though you got live rounds and you're ready to go, don't think that every time you point the gun down range, you have to shoot, right? You can just point it down, make sure your form is correct, make sure your targets are lining up, make sure you're punching out and getting your gun up in your sight range. You don't have to shoot every time you point. You can take basically practice your form. Make sure you're pointing down where you need to be. These bugs are crazy. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just making sure that every time that I point, I'm basically in the same path here, and my eyes are lined up, keeping both eyes open with my red dot anyway. Keeping both eyes open, finding that red dot, making sure it's landing on my target, and getting ready to roll. If you start noticing that halfway through you doing your double taps, that you're getting in the wrong position, you're putting your head in the wrong spot, you had a bad trigger pull last time, slow it down. Go back. Go back to doing your aim drills. And when you're doing this, and when you're doing these practices like this, where you're doing pull, aim, double tap, and then back off, you can even go in and put in some reloads, right? So just put a couple rounds in. Okay. Double tap. Double tap. Reload. It'll help get you in the the hand mechanics and the know-it-all to know what's happening with your gun whenever it does happen. You know, at a certain point, whenever you're shooting, if you're shooting multiple rounds, or you just had a magazine that wasn't packed, there may be a time when you don't have rounds fully loaded, right? You have to do a reload. So it helps with the hand mechanics and the gestures of doing that, right? Like this right here, we'll do is a empty round in the chamber, attempted fire, a couple rounds, and a reload. How many rounds ran, so I didn't have to. Sometimes it's better because you seen on there whenever I did my first shot and the gun was empty, right? I did my first shot, we're clear. I did my first shot and the gun was empty. So I immediately, instead of just racking the chamber or racking the slide back, I did a reload. Now, is there a fault in that? Well, kind of like if you didn't know the rounds in your magazine count, yeah, you could be, or if you didn't have any other magazines, right? Not knowing why the gun didn't fire. Obviously, I did know because I loaded these mags up and I said I was going to do what I was going to do. But you know, if you didn't know what your capacity was, you could pull it out, and you know the magazines have holes in the back so you can see how many rounds are in them. But if you didn't know how many rounds you had, pulling your mag out, either checking, or if you already have another mag that has ammo in it, just pulling it out, putting the new mag in, and then racking your slide to chamber a new round. And then also, whenever I had run out on my first magazine, my slide didn't lock back, right? So typically, whenever you fire and it's your last round, your slide will lock back, because whenever your magazine's inserted and you fire your last round, the slide automatically locks. Sometimes though, with my hands being up here, I'm resting on my slide release, so it doesn't necessarily catch all the time because my hands are up there putting pressure on it. But I knew that the magazine was empty, so I went ahead and swapped it. Which, if you're in a situation, you may not have the mindset to be counting how many rounds you're firing, so that may not happen. So you may get to that point where you're firing your rounds, and because your hands are up here and you have pressure on them, your slide, if you're holding a gun like I do, or if you have a slide release like I do, then your slide may not lock, and you may have that dead trigger. You have to do a reload on there, put it in, reload. But so could have done that a little better. I should have went through the process of not knowing that there was an empty mag. But it's all practice. It's all practice. Main thing is to know how your gun operates, know how to operate the gun, and whenever you get symptoms, whether it's some sort of misfire, some sort of failure to load, failure to eject, empty magazine, whatever it may be, that you know how your gun operates and you know how to correct those situations. All right. So I've done loading my magazines up while I was talking to you guys. So I don't really know how many rounds are in each magazine. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with an empty gun and 2 magazines that have an undisclosed amount of ammo in them. And we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to load. We're going to shoot 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds until we have to reload. Then we'll swap out the mags. go from there. All right, there's birds flying behind the birds. There you got it. Another range day down. Another good shoot. With that, like I said, practice at your home. You know, practice wherever you can. There's gonna be plenty of free time that you have of sitting there and you're not doing really anything that's terribly inconvenient. Whether you're watching TV or just chilling or relaxing, sitting in the backyard, drinking some coffee, drinking some tea, whatever it may be. Unload your gun and start doing some practicing your draws, your pulls, your aiming, making sure you're getting your sights on target, even practicing your dry firing, right? Practice getting all your grips down and everything, and then take it to the range and see what kind of difference you can make, right? The first time I had my pistol and we were basically doing the same thing here. I brought a buddy out and we were sighting in his pistol and doing some dry fire, and then trying to do some point fires rather. You know, the targets were everywhere. We were hitting all over the place. But after practicing for a while at the house, you know, without any ammunition, just firing, just drawing, pulling, aiming, putting the dot on target and pulling the empty pin. You know, after a while you get those down, and you can see what kind of difference it made. I mean, we put pretty much all of our bullets in a 3-inch pattern, and it really helps. So if you're going to be carrying a firearm, then you need to be proficient with firearm. So get out there and practice. If you guys like the content, please subscribe. Lets me know that you guys are interested, and helps grow the channel. So I appreciate it. Take care. Until next time, take it easy.